interview performing at your best. Interview panels ultimately give jobs to people they like, people they can connect with, people they see fitting into their organisation and working well alongside other team members. So at interview, it's really important not only to focus on presenting your technical ability, but also to focus on how you engage with your interview panel. Firstly, have a confident plan for your interview. Be clear about what you want to present at interview, the key skills and competencies that you want to get across during that half-hour or 45-minute slot that you have with your panel. Be clear about what you want to leave hanging in the room. As you leave the room and shut the door behind you at the end of the interview, what do you want the panel to turn around and say to each other about you? So have a very clear intention about what you want to achieve in that interview space. Also take charge. We make the assumption that interviews are a passive affair, that the panel asks the questions and that we sit back and answer them. You need to be clear about what information you want to get across, how you want to present that, and how you want the panel to feel about you. Be likeable. It's really important that you make a connection with your interview panel. So as you enter the room, give them eye contact, give them a firm handshake. Listen to them. Don't be reloading as they're talking. Be seen to be really listening to your panel member and making a connection with them. Smile. You also need to focus. Be very focused in your interview. So listen very carefully to the question and be certain that you've answered that question. Sometimes when you've finished an answer, you can gain a little bit of clarity on that. You can say to your panel, have I answered your question? Would you like a little bit more detail? All this will help you make sure that you keep on track during the interview process. Also remember the rule of 3. Our brain likes to receive information in an orderly manner, and it likes to receive information in 3s. So it can be really helpful when giving an answer that you summarise that answer with 3 points. So for example, if you're talking about communication, summarise that answer by telling the panel that you're a good communicator because you're clear in your communication, because you listen very carefully, and because you always go back and evaluate the results of your communication afterwards. When the panel asks you at the end of the interview, do you have a question? This is not an opportunity for you to get an answer to a question. This is an opportunity for you to market yourself just a little bit more. So have a killer question. By a killer question, I mean a question about the big picture, about the company. Something demonstrates that you've researched, that you're aware of trends coming up the track in terms of the profession that you're working with. Really important at the end of the interview, once you've had your questions answered, that you present a very short pitch. This is less than a minute long, and it's an opportunity for you again to sell 3 core competencies that you bring to the role. Make sure that those core competencies relate to the criteria of the specific role. Lastly, remember that this is a performance. An interview is authentic, it must be you, but you do need to raise your game a little bit. So you need to be a little bit more energized, you need to be a little bit brighter, you need to show gestures a little bit more, and you really need to connect with your panel. If you don't get excited about your performance, your panel's not going to get excited about you.